What if I told you that the very reason you feel unheard, disrespected, or overlooked in your relationships isn't because you lack value, but because you've been conditioned to forget just how powerful you truly are? Brave women, it's time to face a hard truth. You've been playing by rules designed to strip you of your strength, your worth, and your boundaries. Society told you to bend, to overgive, to wait patiently for a man to notice your worth. But let me ask you, has that worked? Or has it left you chasing men who give crumbs, apologizing for wanting more, and wondering why your effort is never enough? Here's the secret they don't want you to know. Men are wired to respect strength. They don't chase what's easy or predictable. They chase what they can't control. And you, powerful woman, have been handing over your control for far too long. But that ends here. This is the moment you reclaim your power, harness the transformative strength of Dark Stoic Psychology, and become the woman men can't ignore. Because they'll realize they need you more than you ever needed them. Imagine a lioness. She doesn't beg the lion for attention. She doesn't lower herself to win his approval. She moves with grace, power, and unshakable confidence, knowing that the lion will come to her, not because she chased him, but because her energy commands it. This is the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology. It teaches you to own your emotions, master your mind, and never let anyone dictate your worth. Stoicism is not about becoming cold or distant. It's about being untouchable, unshakable, and magnetic. Let's break it down. Dark Stoic Psychology isn't about playing games. It's about mastering them. It's understanding male psychology on a deeper level, not to manipulate, but to position yourself as the prize. A Stoic woman knows that a man's respect is earned, not demanded. She doesn't beg for it. She radiates it. She doesn't chase love. She embodies it. When you practice this mindset, you stop reacting to breadcrumbs and start commanding the feast you deserve. Does he pull away after an argument? Let him. Your silence speaks volumes. Does he take hours to text back? Match his energy and redirect your focus to building yourself. A man notices when you're unbothered by his absence, because he realizes he's the one missing out. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgments about them." When you let go of the need to control him and master your own emotions, instead, you become the woman every man respects and fears losing. This is your moment, courageous woman. Stop giving your power away. Own it. Reclaim your time, your energy, and your worth. Write in the comments, "I am the prize." Let's ignite this movement together. If this resonates with you, don't stop here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this wisdom with the women who need it most. It's time to rise. Number 1, stop chasing him and start replacing weak men with real ones. Why are you chasing a man who barely notices your worth when you should be commanding the attention of men who respect, desire, and cherish you? Brave women, let me ask you this. How many times have you lowered your standards, overextended yourself, or given your heart to someone who didn't deserve even an ounce of your energy? Let me tell you the truth. No one dares to say out loud, chasing a man is a losing game. It drains your power, erodes your confidence, and places you in a position you were never meant to occupy. The chase is for him, not you. But here's the empowering reality. You can stop chasing today. You can step into the magnetic energy of Dark Stoic Psychology. Replace the weak men who don't deserve you, and become the woman men can't help but pursue. Let's get one thing straight. You are not here to be an option. You are the standard. And the moment you stop running after the unworthy, you make room for a man who will run after you. Think of it this way. A queen doesn't leave her throne to chase a jester. She remains composed, radiating confidence, and the entire kingdom feels her presence. That's the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology. It's not about manipulation or games. It's about understanding male psychology and harnessing your inner power to inspire respect, admiration, and unwavering desire. A man instinctively chases what he fears losing, and when you stop chasing, you become his greatest loss. Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions, to detach from external validation, and to focus on what we can control, our own energy. When you stop pouring your time, thoughts, and emotions into a man who doesn't reciprocate, you reclaim that energy and transform it into something extraordinary. Suddenly, you're not waiting for his text. You're working on your goals, your body, your passions. You're building a life so fulfilling that he realizes he was never the center of it. And that realization? It's the ultimate power move. Let's address the fear you might feel right now. What if I lose him? But ask yourself, what are you really losing? A man who doesn't value your effort? A relationship where you're the only one trying? That's not a loss. That's a liberation. And here's the truth. When you embrace Dark Stoic Psychology and walk away from weak men, you create space for real men. Men who recognize your strength. Men who match your energy. Men who are willing to rise to your level because they see that's the only way to keep you. Imagine you're texting a man who takes hours or days to reply. Most women would keep texting, trying to revive a dying conversation. But you stop. You don't beg for his attention or wonder what you did wrong. You shift your energy elsewhere, to the gym, to your ambitions, to people who value you. He will notice. And when he does, he'll either step up or step aside. Either way, you win. Or think about a man who consistently cancels plans or puts in minimal effort. You don't need to explain your worth to him. You simply replace him with your own self-respect, with new experiences, and eventually with a partner who doesn't need to be convinced of your value. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Stop thinking about what you can do to keep him and start thinking about what he should be doing to keep you. Brave women, this is your wake-up call. Stop chasing weak men who don't see your brilliance and start replacing them with the energy, discipline, and self-worth that will naturally attract real men into your life. Write in the comments, I replace weak men with my strength. Let the world know that you are no longer settling. If this message resonates with you, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share this with the women who need it most. And stay tuned, because in the next strategy, we'll dive into how to silence the noise, master your emotions, and let him feel the weight of your absence. It's time to rise. Number 2, detach from his games and master your emotions with Dark Stoic Psychology. Why does it always feel like you're the one putting in the effort while he plays games, pulls away, or leaves you second-guessing your worth? Brave women, let me ask you this. How many sleepless nights have you wasted replaying his words, waiting for a text, or analyzing his silence? The truth is, you're not lacking anything. You're giving too much of your energy to a man who thrives on your uncertainty. But here's the good news. You hold all the power, and with the principles of Dark Stoic Psychology, you can take that power back. The key? Detachment. Detachment isn't cold or emotionless. It's freedom. It's the art of mastering your emotions so deeply that no man, no game, and no situation can rattle your peace. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, When you detach from his games, you're not just removing him from the pedestal, you're reclaiming your place as the prize he has to work for. Imagine this. You're a queen sitting on her throne, unbothered and untouchable. A true queen doesn't chase a knight who leaves her waiting. She lets him realize the privilege of her attention. Detachment is your throne. It's the unshakable confidence that tells the world, I am enough, with or without you. Let's get real. A man's games thrive on your reactions. When he pulls away, he's testing to see if you'll chase. When he's silent, he wants you to fill the void. But when you master Dark Stoic Psychology, you silence his manipulations by refusing to play. You shift your energy inward, building yourself, focusing on your passions, and showing him that you're perfectly fine without his breadcrumbs. Think of it like a pendulum. The harder you chase, the faster he swings away. But when you stop, when you stand still and rooted in your own worth, the pendulum naturally gravitates back to you. This isn't magic, it's psychology. Men are wired to value what they must work for. The moment you detach, he starts feeling your absence, and that absence is louder than any words you could ever say. But how do I detach when I care so much? You might ask. The answer lies in mastering your emotions. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that emotions are not meant to control us. They're meant to guide us. You can acknowledge your feelings without being ruled by them. Instead of reacting to his mixed signals, channel that energy into your own growth. Work out, dive into a hobby, reconnect with friends. Do anything that reminds you of the incredible, resilient woman you are. Every time you choose yourself over his games, you become more magnetic. Here's the hard truth. Detachment doesn't guarantee he'll come running back, but that's not the point. The point is that you'll no longer need him to. Detachment frees you from the emotional roller coaster, putting you back in control. And ironically, it's this freedom, this radiant confidence, that makes him realize what he's lost. Picture this. He sees you thriving, smiling, and living your best life without him. That's when the tables turn. That's when he starts chasing, because now you're the one who's untouchable. And whether you let him back in or not, the choice will be yours, not his. That's the ultimate power of Dark Stoic Psychology. So, brave women, let this be your declaration. No more reacting. No more chasing. No more giving your energy to games. Write this in the comments right now. I master my emotions. I am unshakable. Let it be a mantra that guides you. If you're ready to dive deeper into this journey of self-mastery and learn the next strategy to make him value you like never before, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every woman who needs to hear it. Remember, the power is already within you. It's time to unlock it. See you in the next video. Number 3, own your energy. Make him work to deserve you. Brave women, have you ever found yourself pouring all your energy into a man, hoping he'll finally see your worth, only to feel drained, disrespected, and unappreciated? Have you noticed how the harder you try to please, the less he seems to care? Here's the truth. You're not the problem, but the way you've been taught to give your energy away is. Stop handing over your power so easily. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that your energy isn't just valuable, it's sacred. And when you start treating it that way, the dynamic shifts. He no longer takes you for granted. He works to deserve you. Imagine your energy as a treasure chest filled with gold. Every action you take, every word you speak, is like handing out gold coins. Would you scatter those coins on the street for anyone to take? Of course not. But when you over-text, over-give, and over-explain yourself to a man who hasn't earned your time, you're doing just that, depleting your treasure for nothing in return. A woman who owns her energy doesn't beg for scraps of attention. She holds herself with such value that a man knows he must step up or step out. Men are wired to respect what they must earn, not what they're freely given. It's a simple psychological principle. When something is too easy, it loses its allure. The power of Dark Stoic Psychology lies in teaching you how to channel your energy inward, building yourself up so that your presence alone commands respect. You don't chase, you attract. You don't plead, you inspire. Let's take an example. Say you've been texting a man, and he replies half-heartedly hours later, if at all. Most women would send another text, trying to reignite the conversation. Not you. A woman who owns her energy understands that this is her moment to withdraw. Let him feel the void your silence creates. Instead of chasing him, redirect that energy into something that fuels you. Read a book, hit the gym, work on a passion project. The irony? When he notices your absence, he'll come running, because a man is drawn to what he fears losing. Here's another truth. A man values what reflects strength, and there's no greater strength than a woman who knows her worth. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By practicing Dark Stoic Psychology, you master your emotions and refuse to let his actions dictate your worth. This mindset makes you unshakable, and a man can't resist a woman who stands in her power. And what about relationships where you're always the one holding things together? Stop. Pull back. If he isn't willing to meet you halfway, it's not your job to carry the entire load. Relationships are partnerships, not charity. A man who truly values you will rise to the challenge when he feels the absence of your energy. But if he doesn't, consider it a blessing. He's revealed himself as unworthy of the treasure you are. Owning your energy doesn't mean becoming cold or detached. It means setting a standard that commands respect. It's about showing him that your time and attention are privileges, not guarantees. When you do this, something incredible happens. He starts to see you as the prize you are. Men are naturally competitive, and when they feel they must work to earn you, they step into their best selves. That's the power of understanding male psychology through the lens of Dark Stoic Psychology. Brave women, this is your moment to reclaim your energy and your power. Don't waste another second on a man who doesn't recognize your worth. Write in the comments, "My energy is sacred," and let it serve as your declaration of strength. If you found this eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and get ready for the next strategy that will elevate your relationships and your life. The woman who owns her energy owns her destiny. Are you ready to become her? Number 4, your time is sacred. Don't waste it on a man who won't step up. Brave women, let me ask you this. How often have you found yourself waiting for his call, his text, his attention? How many hours, days, or even years have you spent hoping he would step up, commit, or finally see your worth? Time, the most precious resource you have, is slipping away while you hold on to the potential of a man who continues to fall short. Here's a truth that might sting. If he doesn't value your time, he doesn't value you. And yet, society teaches you to wait, to be patient, to accommodate his excuses. Enough. Your time is sacred, and it's time to start treating it that way. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine your time as a rare diamond, irreplaceable, priceless, and finite. Would you hand that diamond to someone who casually tosses it aside, treating it like a common rock? Of course not. Yet, every time you let a man disrespect your time, Whether by keeping you waiting, canceling plans, or stringing you along, you're allowing him to do just that. Brave women, hear this. A man who truly values you will respect your time. He will show up, put in the effort, and make you feel like the priority you are. Anything less is a waste of your sacred energy. Dark Stoic Psychology is the key to reclaiming your time and your power. The Stoics taught that we suffer not because of external events, but because of how we interpret them. If you believe a man's delays or indifference mean you're unworthy, you're handing him control over your emotions. But when you detach from his behavior and focus on yourself, you take that power back. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In relationships, this means letting go of the need to chase him or wait for him to change. Your time is too valuable to spend on someone who hasn't earned the privilege of it. Now, let's address the question lingering in your mind. What if he just needs time to figure things out? Here's the hard truth, courageous women. A man who truly wants you won't risk losing you. He won't need endless time to decide whether you're worth it. By waiting for him, you're teaching him that your time, and by extension, your worth, is negotiable. Stop negotiating. Start enforcing. If he's not stepping up, step away. You'll be amazed at how quickly a man's priorities shift when he realizes your absence is permanent, not temporary. Think of yourself as a queen. Does a queen wait for someone to realize her worth? Does she linger in the hopes that someone will rise to her level? No. She reigns with grace and power, knowing that those who fail to respect her time and presence are unworthy of her attention. Dark Stoic Psychology helps you embody this mindset. It teaches you to focus on what you can control, your standards, your actions, and your boundaries. When you act like a queen, you attract a king. But first, you must be willing to walk away from the court jesters. Consider this metaphor. Your time is a garden, and every moment is a seed. If you plant those seeds in barren soil, a man who makes excuses, cancels plans, or keeps you waiting, they'll never bloom. But when you invest your time in fertile ground, in yourself, your passions, your growth, you'll create a lush, thriving garden that others will admire and want to be part of. The right man won't watch from the sidelines. He'll roll up his sleeves and work beside you to nurture that garden. Anything less? Not worth your time. Detachment is your greatest weapon here. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches that by letting go of attachment to outcomes, you gain freedom. You don't need to control him, convince him, or chase him. Instead, you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally. When you're radiant and unbothered, you'll find that men are drawn to you like moths to a flame. They'll chase you, not because you begged for their attention, but because your energy demands it. So, brave women, stop waiting. Stop tolerating excuses. Stop wasting your sacred time on men who won't step up. A man who truly values you will match your energy, respect your boundaries, and make your time feel like a treasure, not a burden. From this moment on, treat your time as the rare and precious gift it is. The right man will cherish it. The wrong one will reveal himself by how quickly he's willing to lose it. Now it's your turn to reclaim your power. In the comments, write, "My time is sacred." Let this be your declaration, your promise to yourself that you will never again waste your time on someone who won't step up. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with the brave women in your life who need to hear it. Because next, we're diving even deeper into the secrets of Dark Stoic Psychology and how to make every man realize your worth. Stay with us. You won't want to miss it. Number 5. Walk away without fear and watch him run after you. Why do so many brave women hesitate to walk away from a man who treats them like an option rather than a priority? Is it fear? Fear of being alone? Fear that he won't return? Or fear of not finding someone better? But let me ask you this. What's more terrifying? Walking away from a man who disrespects your value, or staying and letting him continue to drain your energy and dim your light? The truth is, the moment you choose yourself and walk away without fear, you unleash a power that no man can ignore. This isn't just about leaving. This is about reclaiming your worth, mastering your emotions, and using the principles of Dark Stoic Psychology to become the woman he'll regret losing. Picture this: a phoenix rising from the ashes, unbothered and unstoppable. That's what you become when you learn to detach from a man who doesn't value you. He expects you to beg, to chase, to keep proving your worth. But instead, you walk away. And in that moment, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer the one needing validation. You've become the prize he'll regret losing. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, said it best: "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you train your mind to let go of fear and focus on your strength, you project a confidence that's magnetic, irresistible, and undeniable. Let's face it, a man who takes you for granted does so because he thinks you'll always be there. He's become comfortable in your presence, complacent in your devotion. But the teachings of Dark Stoic Psychology reveal a truth that changes everything. What is freely given is rarely valued. It's only when you remove yourself, when you show him that your time, energy, and love are privileges, not guarantees, that he begins to wake up. Walking away isn't a weakness. It's a strategic act of power. It's the lioness stepping back to remind the lion who truly commands the savannah. But you might wonder, what if he doesn't come back? What if he doesn't realize what he's lost? Brave women, let me remind you, a man who doesn't return when faced with your absence is a man who never deserved your presence. Walking away isn't about manipulating him. It's about liberating yourself. It's about showing yourself that your happiness isn't tied to his attention or approval. The teachings of Stoicism and Dark Stoic Psychology teach us to detach from outcomes and focus on mastering our inner world. The real power lies in knowing that whether he runs after you or not, you'll thrive. Think of a river. It doesn't beg the rocks to move. It flows around them with grace, carving its path over time. That's your energy. When you walk away, you redirect your flow, your focus, and your strength into yourself. You become the woman who no longer asks, "What does he think of me?" Instead, you command him to think, "How can I win her back?" Walking away is not an act of giving up. It's an act of choosing yourself. Remember this: men are hunters by nature. They value what they must work for, what challenges them, and what they fear losing. When you walk away without fear, you activate this primal instinct. But here's the twist: you don't need to wait for him to come running back. While he's figuring out what he lost, you're leveling up. You're building your strength, sharpening your mind, and mastering the art of emotional detachment. As the Stoic Epictetus wisely said, "He who is free from desire can never be controlled." When you stop needing him, you become the one who is truly in control. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine a priceless diamond in a jeweler's showcase. It doesn't scream for attention, doesn't beg to be chosen. Its value speaks for itself. It's the buyers who come to admire, to desire, to chase it. That's you. When you walk away, you remind him, and yourself, that your value doesn't decrease just because he failed to see it. So here's your challenge. fierce and fearless women. Choose strength over fear. Let your silence speak louder than words, and let your absence teach him what your presence once brought. Walk away not to punish him, but to free yourself. Trust that if he's worthy, he'll rise to meet your standards. And if he doesn't, you've cleared the path for someone who will. Type in the comments, "I choose me." Write it boldly. Write it as a declaration of your power. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get ready for the next strategy that will teach you to master the art of Dark Stoic Psychology. Because the next time a man takes you for granted, you'll know exactly what to do, and you'll do it with unshakable confidence. Number 6, respect is earned, not begged. Set boundaries. He can't ignore. Brave women, let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself bending over backward to gain his approval, his affection, or his respect, only to be met with silence, indifference, or excuses? You keep giving and giving, hoping that if you're kind enough, patient enough, or accommodating enough, he'll finally see your worth. But does that strategy ever work? Or does it leave you feeling exhausted, invisible, and questioning your own value? Here's the hard truth you need to hear. Respect is never begged, and it's never given freely. It's earned through the boundaries you set and enforce. A man will never respect a woman who doesn't respect herself first. But when you stand firm, when you declare your worth through your actions, he has no choice but to recognize your power. This is where the teachings of Dark Stoic Psychology come in, a way to master your emotions, reclaim your control, and become the kind of woman who commands respect without uttering a word. Picture this. You're a queen in her kingdom. A queen doesn't plead for loyalty or beg for attention. She creates laws, sets standards, and holds people accountable. The same applies to your relationships. The boundaries you set are your laws, and enforcing them is how you show a man what you will and won't tolerate. A man will push, test, and challenge you, not because he doesn't like you, but because he's wired to see what he can get away with. If you let him cross your boundaries once, he'll do it again, and your respect will crumble in his eyes. But when you stand firm, he learns that he either steps up or steps out. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the core of Dark Stoic Psychology. You can't control a man's actions, but you can control your response. When you set boundaries, you're telling the world, and him, that you value yourself enough to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. Now, you might be thinking, but if I set boundaries, won't I push him away? What if he leaves? Let me ask you this in return. Do you really want a man who only stays because he can walk all over you? A man worth having respects a woman who respects herself. Boundaries aren't walls to keep love out. They're gates that allow the right kind of love to enter. A man who values you will rise to meet your standards. The rest? They'll fall away. And that's exactly what you want. Imagine you're dating someone who constantly cancels plans at the last minute. The old you might have smiled, brushed it off, and told yourself he'd do better next time. But not anymore. The new you, armed with the strength of Dark Stoic Psychology, calmly says, "This doesn't work for me. I value my time, and I expect it to be respected." You're not yelling, pleading, or chasing. You're stating your boundary. And in that moment, you shift the dynamic. He sees that you're not afraid to walk away. And trust me, that fear of losing you will wake him up like nothing else. Boundaries are not about punishment. They're about teaching. When you set and enforce boundaries, you teach a man how to treat you. If he consistently disrespects your time, energy, or emotions, he's showing you exactly who he is. believe him, and walk away. Walking away isn't weakness. It's the ultimate act of self-respect. It's saying, I deserve better, and I'm willing to wait for it. And the irony? The moment you walk away is often the moment he realizes your value. But by then, you'll be the one deciding if he's even worth your time. Respect is the currency of every relationship, and boundaries are how you set the exchange rate. Without boundaries, you're giving away your respect for free, and free things are never valued. But when you use the principles of Dark Stoic Psychology to enforce your standards, you elevate yourself. You become the woman who makes him question how he ever lived without you. Now is your time to reclaim your power, brave woman. Stop chasing respect and start commanding it. Set your boundaries and don't flinch when they're tested. You're not here to convince anyone of your worth. You're here to live it. Write in the comments, "My boundaries are my power." If this resonates with you like this video, subscribe to the channel and share this with another powerful woman who needs this reminder. In our next strategy, we'll uncover how silence and detachment can make him run after you. You won't want to miss it, because you're not just a woman. You're a queen. Keep building your kingdom. Number 7, silence is power. Let him feel the weight of your absence. Brave women, let me ask you this. How many times have you felt the need to explain yourself to a man who wasn't listening? How often have you chased his attention, only to find yourself drained, ignored, and undervalued? Isn't it exhausting to always be the one filling the silence, trying to keep the connection alive? But what if I told you that silence, your silence, could be your greatest weapon? That the less you speak, the louder your presence becomes. This is the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology, the power of mastering your emotions, and the wisdom of making him feel the weight of your absence. Silence isn't just the absence of words. It's the presence of strength. It's a declaration of your worth without begging for recognition. You see, men are wired to chase what they fear losing, not what they know is always available. When you silence your voice, stop chasing, and instead, focus on yourself. You create a magnetic force that no man can ignore. Like a storm building on the horizon, your absence commands attention. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." And silence is the ultimate reaction. It shows that you don't need his validation to feel whole. Imagine this. You're in a relationship where the man begins to pull away. His texts become shorter, his calls less frequent, his presence distant. Your instinct may scream at you to fix it. Send another message, plan another date, try harder. But brave women, that's the trap. Every word you add to the void only shrinks your power and feeds his comfort. Instead, embrace the silence. Withdraw your energy. Let him feel the cold absence of your light. A man who respects you will notice, and he will act. Think of silence like a candle in a dark room. When it burns, its light is taken for granted. But extinguish it, and suddenly, the absence is all anyone can feel. Your silence is that flame. When you stop explaining yourself, stop giving away your energy, and instead focus inward, he'll be forced to confront the reality of what he's lost. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that silence is not passive. It's active. It's not weakness. It's strength. It's not about punishing him, but about reclaiming your power. When you practice silence, you're not just letting him miss your presence. You're creating space for your own growth. Use that silence to invest in yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Let him see that your life doesn't stop because of his indecision or neglect. That's what makes a man run back to you. Not because you begged, but because he recognizes that you are a woman who doesn't need him to thrive. But you might be thinking, what if he doesn't notice? What if he doesn't care? Here's the truth. If a man doesn't feel the weight of your absence, he was never worth your presence to begin with. Your silence is a filter. It separates the men who value you from those who never truly did. And isn't that clarity worth everything? As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your silence puts the power back where it belongs, in your hands. Brave women, don't let fear guide your actions. Silence isn't about losing him. It's about finding yourself. When you stop speaking to him, you start listening to yourself. You start hearing the voice that says, "I am enough." The voice that knows your worth isn't tied to his attention. And when you act from that place of strength, he'll notice. He'll feel the shift. He'll feel the weight of a woman who has mastered her emotions and no longer lives for his validation. So, here's your next move. Silence. Not as a game, but as a strategy. Let him feel the absence of your texts, your calls, your energy. Watch how it shifts the dynamic. Use that time to elevate yourself. Build your confidence, pursue your passions, and let your silence speak louder than words ever could. Write in the comments, "Silence is my power," and declare your strength. If you're ready to master Dark Stoic Psychology and take control of your relationships, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for the next strategy that will make you unstoppable. Your silence is your strength. Let him feel it. Number 8, build unstoppable discipline and become the woman. No man can resist. Why is it that some women seem to hold an unshakable presence that commands respect and admiration, while others find themselves chasing men who barely lift a finger to meet them? Halfway? Brave women. Ask yourself, are you building a life so magnetic that a man would be terrified to lose you? Or are you letting distractions, doubts, and a lack of discipline cloud the powerful woman you were born to be? Here's the truth. The difference between a woman who is irresistible and one who is overlooked lies in unstoppable discipline, the backbone of Dark Stoic Psychology. This isn't about impressing a man or playing games. It's about transforming yourself into a force of nature so strong that no man can resist or ignore you. Discipline is your secret weapon, your silent power that says, "I don't need anyone to complete me, but if you want to stay in my life, you'll have to rise to my level." Think about this. A disciplined woman is like a roaring flame. She doesn't chase anyone because she knows her fire draws people in. But here's the key. Her fire doesn't burn because of a man's attention. It burns because she fuels it herself. If you want to command a man's respect, admiration, and devotion, you must first build yourself into someone who doesn't just want more, but demands it through the way she lives, acts, and carries herself. Discipline begins with mastering your time and energy. Every minute you spend on someone who doesn't value you is a moment stolen from your growth, your peace, and your power. How many times have you sacrificed your priorities to accommodate a man who didn't even appreciate it? Brave women, hear this loud and clear. A man will never respect you if you don't respect yourself enough to protect your time. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." The same goes for you. Don't waste another moment waiting for a man to wake up and see your worth. Wake up and live it yourself. Now, let's talk about habits. Building unstoppable discipline means taking control of every aspect of your life, your mind, body, and soul. Are you prioritizing your health, or are you drowning in excuses? A woman who is irresistible walks into a room with confidence, her energy vibrant and undeniable. She doesn't just look good, she feels good, and that aura is magnetic. If you find yourself skipping workouts, eating junk, or neglecting your self-care because you're too busy trying to please someone else, stop. Take your power back. Make your well-being non-negotiable. A disciplined body leads to a disciplined mind, and a disciplined mind is where true power lies. But discipline isn't just about routines and habits. It's about your mindset. How often do you let emotions control you? Whether it's overthinking a delayed text or dwelling on a man's mixed signals. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us that true power comes from mastering our emotions, not letting them master us. Imagine this. A man is playing hot and cold, pulling away just to see if you'll chase him. The undisciplined woman reacts. She texts him more, tries harder, gives him the validation he's craving. But the disciplined woman? She pulls back, focuses on herself, and lets him feel the weight of her absence. She's not playing games. She's showing him that her world doesn't revolve around him. That's the kind of power no man can ignore. Here's a hard truth. Men respect women who respect themselves, and self-respect is rooted in discipline. When you hold yourself to high standards, whether in how you treat your body, how you spend your time, or how you handle relationships, you set the tone for how others will treat you. If you let a man get away with half-hearted effort, that's all you'll ever get. But if you show him that you won't settle for less than what you deserve, he'll either rise to meet you or fall away. And either way, you win. Let's not forget the power of saying no. A disciplined woman knows that every no to distractions, disrespect, and mediocrity is a yes to herself. Picture this. A man keeps canceling plans, offering excuses instead of effort. Most women might keep giving chances, hoping he'll change. Not you. You're the woman who looks him in the eye, calm, composed, and utterly unshaken, and says, "No more." That's Dark Stoic Psychology in action. It's not about anger or bitterness. It's about self-respect. And when a man sees that you value yourself more than his excuses, he'll either realize your worth or watch you walk away. Building unstoppable discipline isn't just about relationships. It's about creating a life so fulfilling, so aligned with your highest potential, that anyone who enters it is better for being part of it. Imagine waking up every day with a clear vision, a purpose, and the unshakable belief that you're unstoppable. That's the kind of woman men run after. Not because you've begged them to stay, but because your energy, confidence, and discipline leave them no other choice. Now is your time, brave women. Take a moment and declare your power. Write in the comments, "I am disciplined. I am unstoppable." Let the world know that you're no longer chasing, waiting, or settling. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get ready. Because next, we're diving into the one strategy that will make any man regret ever doubting your worth. Your journey to becoming irresistible begins now. Conclusion. Brave women, it's time to reclaim your power and reshape the way you approach relationships. Stop chasing, stop begging, and stop accepting less than what you deserve. By mastering Dark Stoic Psychology, you become unshakable, someone who commands respect, radiates confidence, and draws the right man to you effortlessly. Remember, the key isn't about changing him. It's about transforming yourself into the strongest, most disciplined version of you. Build your life, set your standards, and let the world rise to meet you. If this resonated with you, like this video, share it with every woman who needs to be reminded of her power, and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing strategies. Together, We're creating a movement of women who refuse to settle and are unstoppable in their worth. Comment below, "I am unstoppable," and let your journey begin.